Hey best selfers! So as a lot of you guys know who've been following me or follow me on my Instagram, which is where I also do a lot of my day-to-day progress of my fitness and weight loss, which is kind of why I started this channel, was to follow me on my journey through that, which has had its ups and downs and more downs, but I'm getting back on the ups. And in the Instagram side of it, at Together Best Selves, I had asked a question if people would be interested in me sharing with you my makeup tips and tricks of what I do for my own face. And a lot of people said yes, so I thought I'd jump on and do a little makeup tutorial for you guys. Today's video is just going to be for the eyeshadow. I figured another video for these eyebrows because it could take me a long time. I've tried other things out there, but I have to draw them all by hand and it's a process. So that's a whole nother video. And then the skin stuff, I'll kind of show the after product when it's all done, but I'll save that for another day as well. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video on eyeshadow. It's going to be, I'm going out this evening for my dad's birthday. I want to do my eyes up because especially now with your mask on, it's even better to make this, because that's where the focus is. And you know, even with a mask on, there's your focus and you can really make your eyes pop. So we're gonna try to do that today, and I'm gonna try to go for like a classy chic look because, you know, I want to do it up because I'm going out, but I want to keep it classy because it's with my folks. As you can see, I'm holding my eyeliner. This one is NYX Professional, and it's just the basic crayon pencil. I usually like the gel tips, but this works if you have it. And then I also like to blend it if I am using more of the pencil, then I like to blend it with, you know, a little wet. And for this one I've got the e.l.f. It does the trick. It does what you need. So I'm going to throw those on real quick. One of the things I learned was when you're doing your eyeliner, if you have hooded eyes like I do, you want to lift up. You see that little part right under there? That's where you're going to put the liner. I do a little bit on top sometimes too, but you want to be careful with that when you have hood eyes because it can make your eyes look smaller. And you want to have that, you know, big eye look. So what I like to do is you just lift that up, you go on the under part, and then if you're really going out like we are, we'll do a little bit on top, but you want to keep that line thin because again, hooded eyes, you don't want to bring everything down, you want to kind of bring everything to like open up, be pretty. So I'll use those, and then as you can see, brows are already done as we discussed. Whole nother video. Hours, people, hours. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. So what I like to do is I like to line them both on the top and the bottom, and then I bring it down and I actually use it as my primer, really thin coat. And I use the same as my base coat for my face, because I feel that way it kind of blends out smoother and looks more cohesive. And also, something that people won't say, and I will do this on a foundation video, but I just want to make a quick note. When you're doing your face, know not to stop here, because then you look like you have face. But some people stop here, which is fine if you're wearing a high-up shirt or a turtleneck. Because otherwise, in pictures, at least for myself, if you're like me, you will have a different color here. And in a video, if you're taking a certain picture or video, it is going to look like you're wearing a face mask up to here. So my suggestion that I do, and again, this will be on the foundation video, but make sure you do this all the way down. Like just a nice brush out and smooth out with your like powder or whatever, just because that way it kind of blends everything a little bit smoother. I know some people just stop here, but if you're like me and you're pretty dark right here, or you got a lot of freckles or may have you, or you're red, you know, you're gonna look like you're wearing a face mask. So just blend it out a little bit. Those are my little tips. It's time to get started on our eyeshadow, but before I do, I'm going to do my eyeliner just so that it's done. This part, I'm just gonna do the underneath, not the top yet. It'll look a little bit because when I do it, I'll lift it up, do a little under, and then look straight on and kind of make sure it goes all the way across smoothly. And then we'll get back for the eyeshadow. So let's get that real quick and I'll be right back. Alright guys, it is eyeshadow time. Okay, not a singer. Let's do some makeup. And you guys might be wondering, why is she doing makeup on a weight loss or fitness journey? Well, a lot of you guys know that makeup is my comfort blanket, and it just gives me a lot of confidence. It's something that I feel like I can make really pretty and beautiful with my makeup, and then I feel people's eyes go there rather than to parts of me that I don't have that confidence in. And I'm also working on being able to have more confidence without makeup, but it's a process. And we all have our comfort things, especially with weight, and mine is makeup. So as I said earlier, I asked if people would be interested in this, and a lot of people said yes, so I thought I'd go ahead and share. Alright, so I'm going to get started. As you already know, I have the primer, and I did my eyeliner, just the underneath, because again, hooded eyes. I'll do a little bit more on top, but this part I just focused on getting the base. And then now I'm going to use my matte Cariti, I hope I'm saying that right, Cariti palette. It's actually from CVS, but I was looking for a palette with a lot of bright colors for a look I was doing before, and it's got quite a bit, as you can see, so it actually worked out perfect. And I actually really like the colors, and like they last a long time, so bene, I really like this, very bene. Also learning Italian, so might slip it in here and there. So for our base, I'm going to use Whisper. It's got a little pink hue. It's this one right here. And I will put down what I'm using down below. And for this, you want to go inside your crease. So this is going to go all over because again, it's our base. You're going to go under those brows. And so you're going to go right on there and kind of blend it down and around. So like so, get a little more, just kind of make it nice and smooth and give you a nice base color. And again, we're not doing the underneath now. Once my foundation is done, I come back and I do, not all my foundation, just my base foundation. My base foundation, my contour, and my setting powder, and then I'll do the bottom eyeshadow before I finish my face with my top foundations. So in this one, go ahead and blend it out. And so you do your base, you just kind of go around, fluff it, make sure you get under those eyebrows. That look really good, and in the corners. This gives you a nice all-around base. Okay, so we've got that, you can see, really light pink, very soft, subtle. So next what we want to do is our lids, this lower part right here. I kind of like to layer my eyeshadow. So this part I do the lid, and because I want to, you know, it's going out, I want to be a little more than just simple, because I could just do a simple brown smoky type of look, but I like to add a little like pop in there. So I really like this, I'm gonna say it wrong, Therein, F-E-I-G-N, this one right here. It's like a lighter blue kind of color, but it's really pretty, and I feel like it'll give the base a really nice soft note of color, so that when I'm doing the browns in the rest of it, it doesn't, you know, lose the fun of color, and kind of allows your eyes to pop a little more. Brings out whatever color is in your eye. And some people might be afraid of blue. I get that. You know, it's a interesting color. So just go, see, because they have the darkers, just go for a lighter of whatever color, green, pinks, purples, a lot of colors, well, maybe not purple, but a lot of colors go with brown, pinks, blues, greens. So even like certain oranges or stuff, even reds, you can blend out really pretty. So I also kind of like to combine. So as you can see, I did a really soft blue, and then I'm also going to do this kind of like peachy color right here. It's called Cancun. And the great thing about makeup, you guys, is that you can play with your look any way you want it. Any kind of combo of colors you like, any kind of like you know, match your clothes, whatever you like. Have fun with it. You know, enjoy your look because it's your look, you know. Make sure it's exactly what you want it to be, you know. And don't be afraid to play with it along the way. If it's not quite what you want, switch it up. That's okay too. So I want, you know, I like the blue hint back there, but I want a little more of this Cancun color. By the way, I'm sorry to not give you numbers, but this is a pretty generic makeup brush set. It's quite large, but it's generic, so it's a little bit of a angled brush, just slightly more round. And then again, it's flat and it's medium, but it has a slight angle on the tip just to get into those corner areas, which I like. So I'm just gonna, if it's your own palette, you can do that. If you're doing it on somebody else, use a glass of water, especially now. And then I just like to give a nice, deeper, richer texture to that color. You know, sometimes the dry shadow just doesn't hold, even with the primer, the color quite the way I want. Don't be afraid to get in there. So as you can see, as you do it enough times, it'll start to get a bit more color. And don't mind if it's a little messy on the rest of your face when we haven't done our base or our foundation yet. It will get a little messy. Although you could use super careful or use tape. I know, Scotch tape, but it really does help on keeping your clean your after part. So now some of you might be thinking, whoa, you wanted subtle and you're doing bright orange. Have faith, people. I've always said that when I do my makeup, I'm one of those people that if I go outside mid-makeup, people are going to be like, where did this clown come from? What is happening? What's going on? What is wrong with her face? Once it's all together and blended, it tends to come together a little bit more. So don't get scared. It'll come out, I promise. So a lot of that Cancun. Alright. Next, I'm going to take a little bit more of that thing and kind of brush that blue right over top. See? Just right over top. And then you still have that pop, but it gets a little more subtle. Alright. You know, you want your colors to blend, you want them to, you know, speak to you, so that's why I say play with your color, have fun with it. Next up, I do have a brush I can tell you. It is Sephora. This is the tapered number 19. I love this brush. It's great for the crease, which is what we're going to do next. And I'm actually going to use Sephora's palette. And this isn't actually a older palette, but it's really nice. It's the Pro Lessons palette. And I'm going to be using the black purple, which is this middle one right here. And that's why I kind of wanted to do some of the peach on top of the blue, because I'm going to use this purple as my crease color. So you kind of just blend that in. I start kind of right here, diagonal from the nose, and kind of blend out and blend in. Just like that. Circling around. Now before I go darker on that side, don't forget to brush off, tap off your brush, because you'll have some excess. See, as you can see, I'm just working it in. I'm like kind of keeping my eye open so I can keep that crease and then just go down as I go over. And I'm working the brush into that corner, kind of rolling it out, because I want the color to be obviously deeper in the corner. But you can see it's already setting. Yes, again, it looks weird right now. It'll look better once blended, and it's going to fall on this part of your face. That's why I either put Scotch tape here if you already have your foundation done, or don't worry about it so much. It'll all clean up easily. Because your other best friend while doing makeup, Q-tips. Love them. Absolutely love them. They are a makeup gold kind. Literally. I go through so many of these a day. Okay, so I'm going to blend in the color a little darker. So I just put a second layer on, and you can see I like to go between both eyes with each layer of color so that I'm kind of keeping them balanced as I do it, so I can be aware of my color. And yeah, it kind of looks weird. It almost looks like a purple and a blue. But it is a little bit of a purple, but it's not so bad. And then kind of go into there. And then one more time. Here. You guys are like, whoa, girl. What's happening here? What are you doing? That's why I told you you gotta wait for the end, because if you don't, it's gonna look like a weirdness. So next up, I have my Never Give Up Your Daydream Essence shadow, also one I got from CVS, and I really like this palette. It's good for your brights, for your corners, your upper lids. So what I like to do is pick a color based off of kind of the overall look that I'm going for. And this time, since I'm going to kind of softer look, I'm going to do in the top this Sunny Days. It's kind of got a little bit more of a golden color, but it's still subdued. And I've got just my little concealer brush actually, but it works great as you can see, there you go. And just going right under that brow line, and then coming into the corner, blending out. Okay, don't mind if you don't get perfect up on that brow right now, because again, as we layer everything, we will be putting another color up there. Yes, guys, I do put quite a bit. You guys are probably wondering where I was staring off to, but I do have a mirror behind that, where sometimes it's just need to stare into, because it's a little hard doing your makeup on this little camera, I'll tell you what. But the first time for learning everything. Okay. So I just went right across, went down here, and across the tips. Okay? That just gives it a nice, and this one, again, the concealer brush, nice, flat, soft, but gets right up at the top. So again, we have now 3 layers of color, nothing blended. I get it. I get it. It looks weird. And we're only going to make it be even crazier for a minute. So next up, I have my eyeshadow elf brush. It's kind of like squatty, but you can see it's kind of smaller, but it's really good. It's fluffier. I'm sorry I don't have a number. It was an elf, one of the elf brands, but it actually works well for this inner part of your eye. Now, because we are going with the browns, you're wondering, where do the browns go? You don't use brown once. We're going to use brown. So I like to take this palette. This is a City Mini palette from Maybelline, New York. As you can tell, I've used it quite a bit. It's Rooftop Bronzes. And here we have the darkest color right here, which they actually call the liner tracer. Probably not meant for what I'm doing it for, but that's the great thing about makeup. You can do whatever you want. And you guys can even, after your primer's done, sometimes you can use lipstick as your creaser. Great stuff. So on this one, you're gonna go right in that corner, and you're gonna just work the color just in that corner. Kind of coming out a little bit, but mainly in that corner. You're just gonna blend this color together. See that? Kind of moving your brush, circular motions, and kind of come down a little bit across the lash line. But you really want to just stick in that corner, and then I come up with just slightly top into the middle to kind of blend out. And once I have that, then I'm going to take the Nimbus color on our Pretty palettes and blend that in so it softens that a little bit. You guys are probably like, this is just getting crazier and crazier. It'll make sense. In due time, in due time. Okay. Alright. Perfect. Now we have our base dark brows. You can see, just blended it into the corners and kind of came out right here. Next I'm going to take, similar to what we did, our peach, just another kind of rounded brush, and we're going to use some brighter. There's this really pretty shimmer color in the rooftop bronzes in the bottom left. They don't have names on this one. And this we're gonna go right in the corner and color. You guys are probably like, what in the world? This is not how we started. And that's okay. Makeup doesn't always have to be exactly as you start out. So as long as you're having fun with the look. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to my little smudgy brush. Take a little bit of the Huntress. Tap that in. Go over the top again. Just like that. Perfect. And tap a little bit of that in. Go over the top. Right in the corner. Okay. Alright guys, so as you can see I kind of cleaned up a little bit. Helps kind of see more of the color. So now I'm going to do an eyeliner. I don't know how people do this on this little camera. But just, it's not easy on this little camera, I'll tell you what. You just go across. And you can see I try to keep my eye really simple and open. And just really thin strokes. And try to keep right with the line. Because again, those of us with hooded eyes, if you go too thick, you're gonna bring your eyes smaller and more condensed. And the other thing is, you want to keep your brights kind of right within here. So again, you're not bringing down that eye. Okay. So as you can see, it's mostly done. Okay. So now I kind of want to get a little bit of an edge. I'm going to come out, and then I'm going to kind of take this line, come out a little here. Not too much. A little. I like to use my hand as a little fan, because again, otherwise the color will go everywhere. Since this is more of a wet eyeliner, you want to keep it. So then we'll go on the other side, and again, I kind of just dab it off to make sure it's thin. Just dabbing it off a little bit. Like this. And I kind of turn my head. Yeah, line. And you shouldn't really put your pinky here, but or your pinch there. That's how I used to do it. And it's so hard to not do that, but it's better to not, because then you don't get little weird lines, you don't. So you just kind of bring it out to a point, and then bringing that point across. Like that. I like to just come in here. Don't mind if it's a little thick, it'll blend out along with everything else. Okay guys, so once you have your liner kind of touched up, then I want to go back in one more time with that Huntress. Huntress is again this little medium brown right here. Kind of go right over that, tap it in, kind of help blend out that line as well that you created over there. Where you'll still get the effect of it, but it won't become so bright. And go a little bit in my crease and a little down, just like that. So the really pins on the outside, okay? So then, now we start to blend and make this all make sense, okay? And if you watched us till now, I would have left the house, and still be what is happening with your eyes. Next, we're going to take our Sephora number 38 Feather Light crease brush. See, it's got a nice little feathery head. And we're going to kind of blend out all this. What we're going to do is we're going to take kind of a lighter color of what we've been working with. This is going to be the Coquette right here. It's like a very like light tannish peach, I guess. I'll kind of give a nice hue to this whole thing, and I kind of blend it out and blend over the whole thing, bringing all the colors together, corner and out. Again, I kind of go in here and blend over the whole thing, come in the corner and blend out. As you can see, it starts to really nicely blend all those colors, not make them so severe. And I don't like to do too much color in this one, like where I go back in and take more and more and more. This one I'm just gonna kind of really use what's on my brush and blend out. Starting with your crease and above, kind of in below. You're just really working that color. Then we're gonna go to that flat brush we used at the beginning. That big flatty brush, and go back to our Whisper Pink, and I'm going to hit it with a little bit of the Caress White. Start in our corner and kind of blend out on the top. Just giving a nice blend. Blow that Whisper, just a little Whisper, little of that Caress. Tap tap. Start in the corner and blend out. Just like so. And we've really softened our overall eye look. But we're not done. So silly. Nope, not yet. So next up, to kind of give it more pop since we're going out, is going to be my Marc Jacobs pressed eyeshadow sequence Stardust color. Really, really pretty, you guys. If you can see that. It's so shimmery. Love this. Absolutely love this color. Alright, so we're going to take just a little dab on our finger. You don't need much. This thing will last you a good amount of time. So you can see I just put it on my finger and go right in. And I go right on top of that lid. Just going to lightly pat it. We're going to give you a little more pop and sparkle, but subdued and subtle, not like wham bam, what's on your eyes. So I'm just do a little bit more on each side. A little subtle glam. See? You can see it, little sparkle. Perfect. Maybe you can see it a little better on the lid. The color, well, it's kind of hard, but it's like a pinky bronze kind of color. It's not just bronze, like a pinky bronze. But there you have it. Okay, so then we're gonna go in with our, never give up your daydream again. This time we're gonna go for the whipped color. It's more of a pinky peach, soft, subtle color, which again is our main point. And we're using our Morphe X Jaclyn Hill brush, JH39. You can see it's meant for your inner corner and pop of color. So we're just gonna place that right here, right along the edge. And a little bit right there and up. We're gonna come back in one more time once we're done with our foundation. So we don't want to do it too much. Just a light pat. All you really need. Brighten up right under that brow bone. And make it nice and smooth. Give you that pretty shimmer. So we will go back in with that one more time at the end. For now, we're going to use our trusty little eyelash curler right over that eye. Set in as close as you can and push. Just a few seconds. Open. And same with the other side. Yes, it feels like a torture device on your face, but it's not. Okay, so next up, we're going through quite a lot of makeup here. I understand you guys are like, how many colors have you done? Probably like 8. So the looks won't be so much, but this one is. Next up, I'm going to use the Revlon Ultimate All-in-One mascara. I really like this one. It's got a thinner brush. On this one, I do need to use my little mirror because it's kind of hard to see on there. Like, just spread them out. And then go back over. Getting all the nice corners. Get those lashes lashing. Now you can also do fake lashes if you have them. It would be good for going out. I used to have the magnetic ones. I love the ones. Mine broke. I need to get a new pair. But I have to say I do like this mascara. Gives me some good volume, which is what I need without my falsies. And I'm not going to do falsies today just because I don't feel like it. But the other side. Perfect. Okay, so I'm not going to do the bottoms yet or a second coat because we'll do that at the end once everything is done. So for now, I'm going to take a quick break and I'm going to do the rest of my face as far as base work for my foundation. I'll get all that going and then I'll come back and show you guys the under eyes as well as the finish to the top part of the eyes and the overall look. So hopefully you guys are liking it so far, and I think this should be called something like how many colors can one person put on their face, because we're up there, guys. We're up there. If you've been having fun like me, playing with your palette, trying different colors, that's the best part of it. Like, you start out with one thing that had blue. It's hard to see the blue, but don't worry, we'll see some more of that. So stick with me, guys, and I'll be right back. Hi guys. So have most of my base done, and now it's the point where I'm going to do the bottom of my eyes to kind of bring out the whole look. So for eyeliner, what I like to do is just kind of with my black, just kind of bring it across a little bit on that lower lash on both sides. Again, hooded eyes, you have to be careful. A lot of times they say don't use any at all, or use like a white. That way you're not, again, making your eyes smaller. So what I like to do is I like to take the black and I like to just kind of come down kind of to where the edge of my color is right here. And just bring it across. Okay, and then I can take my smudging pen or my brush, my smudger brush, and I like to go back in and get that dark color we used at the end, which is the Huntress. It's not the one at the beginning, but one of those darker colors, but kind of more medium red based. And I kind of smudge out that line, just drawing it a little further, keeping it as close to your actual like eyelash line as you can, because you don't want, you know, to have this look like, you know, like woo, heavy eye. So if you're gonna do the smoke under your eye, you gotta be careful to not overdo the deepness of it, because it can become quite a bit. Okay. Then, once you have that part, you want to go in with your lighter color. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this little angled brush right here, as you can see. I'm going to go back in for that blue we used at the very beginning, the Fame. And, a little lash in there. I'm going to go right underneath and really outline the base of that dark, real gently with the blue. And you can even bring it a little further because it's lighter. Perfect. All right, next, what I'd like to do is bring back my golds that we used earlier, and also bring those under the eye. So you're kind of recreating essentially what you did in the first place, so that it really comes out on the bottom. Then I'll go back to my 19 brush and go in for the bit of that more lighter brown right here, the Nimbus. And kind of bring that down just a hair, really light. Perfect. Now again, going back to our 38 brush, just a little bit further, we're going to get that bouquet that we used up at the top. Kind of blend the whole thing together. Don't worry if it looks a little bit wide right now. We'll fix that up. Perfect. Next, you might have guessed it, you're going to take your big fluffy brush again and go back into the Whisper and the Caress. Slightly pack it in there, envelop it, and it out, and then this time you can go in and kind of just brush it across so it kind of lightens up that whole area. I'm going to take my Morphe Jacqueline Hill 38. I'm going to go right into my light palette and get more of that whip and kind of bring it in the corner and brush it out. Another tip when you're doing this is to quickly take a Q-tip, go in that corner. Helps you avoid that lovely piece of the eye that nobody finds appealing when you get it all gooped up in the corner. And it's a good trick throughout your evening. Just take some Q-tips with you and keep an eye on that. Again, go at the top as well. Perfect. I'm going to finish up by coming in with my blue, more teal color NYX, and this one's more of the gel. I'm going to put that in the inner lid. So we're going to give you that rich sense of color back in there, but without being too overpowering. Right on the inner lash line. Perfect, and then I like to just bring it up a bit in the corners. Next, I'm going to take my Luxuria color, which is right here. It's kind of like a light off-white, and I'm going to brush it everywhere because it really, starting in the corners and out, and then down and up. So it really gives it a nice, beautiful layer. Just like to really get a nice brush across each side. Got a really nice soft look. Then I can just real quickly check on my corners and bring it down slightly. Perfect. And I've kind of lightened this up a lot, so I'm going to take a little bit more of my smudger and just re-darken just that little crease in the corner, getting that nice soft. Now I'm going to go just touch up with some mascara in the corners. So once you touch up those corners, I like to take my NYX on the Rise and kind of go over the whole mascara. Okay, so once you get that, then up the corner. Okay, and then I gotta fix that one dollop. Again, my good friend, Q-tip. Brush it out. And then I'll just glide a little on my top luxury color right first. And a little bit more sweep. And then just to pull out a little more of that color at the very last minute, I will go back to my 38 Featherlight brush, get a little bit more of that croquet and Cancun, that color we used at the very, very beginning. I'm just gonna lightly brush right there and right there. Hopefully bringing out the blues and the oranges, if you can see. So there you have it. There is my eyeshadow tutorial for just like a classy little going out but soft inner look. As you can see, there's a lot of browns, and I mean, we used all the colors, but I hope you had fun. And like I said, I just go to town on the amount of colors that you can play with in one thing of eyeshadow. I know that's a little much. I just dropped my brushes. I know that can be sometimes a little much, but you know what, sometimes it's just fun to play around and have fun with it. And you know, where we started was a blue and, you know, peachy, and it kind of comes with certain of those colors highlighted throughout, but it's not quite as focused. And as you can see, this is very different from when you're 1, 2, 3, how we started out in our base colors. So like I said, if you're mid-makeup of doing one of my makeup things and you go outside, you're gonna look weird, but at the end product, once everything is blended together, it looks a little smoother. So I kind of hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to finish up real quick and then show you guys the final look. And otherwise, I hope you had a really good time watching this makeup video. If you have, please let me know so I can do more for you if you like them, or any suggestions for a different one. If you want me to do a different take on it, or something you want to learn from makeup, please tell me. I'd be happy to share it, because like I said, this is something that gives me joy and makes me feel beautiful when I'm like frustrated with the rest of my body, and it's not like, you know, so even though it's off from this straight line of fitness and weight loss journey, it does intertangle into my own personal story and journey, because it's a comfort blanket and I'd like to slowly get away from that, but it's still very prominent in my own head. So I'm going to finish up the final look for you guys, but these are the eyes. I hope you like them. You can totally do this. Just play, have fun, and be inventive and creative. Alright, let's get to that final look.